Good afternoon. Welcome on in to another episode of From Day One. Today, courtesy of Father Skeptic, she's back by popular demand, the no-nonsense judge handling sovereign citizens.
I don't know what the recommendation is.
They offered me 40 hours of winter service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no.
This
No.
prosecutor is
No.
not playing around. Hey guys, and welcome
Oh,
to
is
today's
that still
video.
on the table?
Today,
No, you
we are
fucked
back
up.
to Judge Tammy Hayward's courtroom to watch her destroy another right-to-travel sovereign citizen. This time, a no-nonsense prosecutor joins in for the fun. So let's
we have a
begin.
1-2
All right,
count.
Mr. Resto. So Mr. Resto, you have two cases. You have
Shut up,
you hear
sir.
me?
Yes, I hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license.
Again, not having a license at all.
Failure to display license, failure to have license on person. I'm not sure it cuts off. And no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020, 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on
They get
one
the
of the
same
cases,
charges.
but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
And he wouldn't take care of the deal, so just like here, they probably say, hey, you got to get your license taken care of before you can get your plates.
You pay your fine.
It's that he's, a free man of the land. I don't need to have government plates. Let's see how that works for you. As content from, Dodgeball would say, very bold strategy content. Let's see how it works out for him.
I'll represent myself.
On both cases?
You want to be stupid?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as
No.
law term when it comes to driver's license. Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually showed them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go.
Expired in
Because my
2014.
Alabama license is valid, and you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first, so my
I believe
Georgia
this sounds
driver's
like a
license.
not guilty.
I don't want to make any
I
assumptions.
like it. I
or
believe it
anything,
sounds like a
but
not
it does
guilty.
seem as if Prosecutor Taylor is enjoying himself a bit more than usual. And yeah, he's right. All that arguing your case is completely unnecessary today. A simple guilty, not guilty, or standing mute will do.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation.
Oh my God, please do not make me pull up that commercial. That's my sister, for those of you that I recognize. We've had her on some of the episodes in the past. And she's going, every time she hears the person's name, she's thinking of the dog flea medication commercial. Please see your veterinarian to see if the Resto is right for you. I have a feeling it's not.
Recommendation is, and I don't know.
Well, the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so I don't really want.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to be dealing with this case for a long time.
I want to go to trial, just want to get it behind me, but I think that the recommendation, I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more than that. So let me explain why I know it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you. And then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay.
And the
What they're referring to is the NOLO, meaning the first one you could technically plead, you'd pay the $500, but it would not automatically revoke your license if you were able to get it back under other means. However, she's also referring that you have 2 charges of that, dear my idiot, not 1. So the second one would automatically suspend it for at least probably 90 days in most states, minimally. Before then, you'd have to pay restitution and go through all the paperwork to get it back.
He doesn't care about it being suspended. He doesn't have one anyway.
I know, but you know, we got to try to reveal to people who might be thinking, "Hey, this might be the way to go." No, it's not. Okay, back to the court.
It is. If you want to stay on a court case, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, if you want to be the next contestant on from day one, please do it. We'll be more than happy to find your case and put you on the air.
The fines are hefty. So you would get a plea on the first one, and that's a $500 fine, which is $737.50. But the next one is going to be $1,000 in addition to that, and that's $1,420. So we're looking at almost
$2,100.
Almost $2,200.
Yeah, give or take a buck or two, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is Mr. Resto represented on the particular case that we're referring to?
Well,
I don't know directly if he's
So-
represented, because this is a serious matter.
I get you. So that's why I'm saying, Mr. Resto, you have representation. I can allow you to be represented on both cases, and they can help you work this out. But understand
Well, I was already represented by a listener in Hope, and we kind of been going back and forth with the district attorney's office for a while, and you know they've been giving me recommendations, and you know I still didn't take it, but
you're an idiot.
Recommendations, I don't know what's changed, but it definitely wasn't
They know landlord
$2,000.
said.
But
talk to your attorney and let them tell you what the recommendation they have on the table, okay? Because the recommendation, if you're represented, even if you're only represented on one case, the rec is probably going to come to your attorney.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds,
Denied.
standing on your constitutional oath.
yes, but denied.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is.
To be fair, neither does he. And I long for the day that a judge just makes up her oath right there on the spot just to see if a sovereign citizen buys it.
So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so.
Well, I asked this question.
Wait a minute, you got gummy bears you've been holding out on me over there?
And one flavor at a time. Because the red one is more juicier.
Okay, Haribo. How many more commercial jingles are we going to get in? We've had Zaresto and now Haribo.
Hot Pockets. Yum.
Oh, God. If he does something that actually justifies the Hot Pockets later, oh, fuck. All right, back to the idiot.
Question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police, and I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over.
Okay, so that's not actually in the Constitution.
And I don't believe automobiles were allowed when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles haven't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
So I actually had to look this one up. And the 14th Amendment was ratified in 1868, while the first vehicle on an American road was in 1893. And it was known as the Durham Motor Wagon. So the prosecutor's right. And not only that, I read the entire 14th Amendment, and it doesn't have any mention of horses, buggies, automobiles, or the right to travel.
You are definitely correct there. The 14th Amendment is nothing about travel, buggies, or anything like that. But, by the way, the quote-unquote right to travel argument that sophomores love to pull out of their ass like it's their get-out-of-fucking-jail-free card or something. It's basically that the person of any state in the U.S. has the perfect right to go to any other state in the United States, and that state cannot pose an undue restriction to prevent you from going to that state. That is what the right to travel is. Not you believing you do not have to license your car, have your tags, plates, title, insurance, that kind of stuff that we all in a modern society actually fucking have.
So I think I'll just file this one in the made that shit up bin.
Pretty close to it.
It says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay, so
An automobile.
Let me stop you right there. He's actually now not reading from the law or from an amendment to the Constitution. He's reading from Black's Law Dictionary. The dictionary that even us who did debate in high school hate to see.
It's not necessarily a car if it's a household good.
Oh,
It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Yes,
because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by.
You hear that, Kim? According to him, you're a household good because I use you as a form of transportation.
You have the right to travel with your own 2 fucking feet, dumbass.
As I like to call it, los pieses for my Spanish-speaking viewers. For those who do, yes, I do hit the SAP, the translate button, the closed captioning. That means your freaking feet.
You're like Little Mermaid. She wants those feet for walking on the street.
They don't get too far. Oh, sorry. I should stop singing.
The police, so I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
it's a totally private household good.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
No.
That's murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
They're traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you want to interfere if somebody.
If you murder somebody because
say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them.
Okay, let's just say we maim them.
You don't want the police to interfere.
We maim them. We don't kill them.
No, that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when 2 citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling.
So basically, you want the police to do their jobs when it benefits you, but not do their jobs when it doesn't.
That's not.
What did you say?
I said he accidentally came out of his mommy's womb instead of being swallowed.
Hey, folks, I'm sorry, but my sister had a weird joke, but it actually works right now. If dove is the bird of peace, what is the bird of love? As Kimmy said, that would be the swallow.
A swallow.
Maybe in this case, the mama should have swallowed to make sure this individual did not make it to planet Earth. And YouTube, no, I'm just joking. You don't have to censor the video.
Not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Where?
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So.
And now the $25,000 bonus question. Anybody knows where in the U.S. Constitution it actually lets them do that? I'll give you a hint. It's Roman numeral X. Okay, no more because I don't want to get copyright strike for the Jeopardy music. The answer, of course, would be the 10th Amendment. Basically, anything that's not in the direct Bill of Rights is immediately handed off to the states to do with as they see fit.
So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created. So people was actually.
Oh my God! What a fucking concept! The car was invented before having a license was invented. How do you say no fucking shit? Yes, my show. I can curse. You gotta have something before you have to realize, hey, maybe we should have a fucking license for it. You can't have a license for a car before it existed. Hey, this thing doesn't exist yet, but I'm gonna say we should have a license for something that doesn't exist yet. This is what this guy's believing. Well, there wasn't a license for it before it existed, so that means it must be safe. No.
Operating their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became.
You mean to tell us that drivers had to exist prior to driver's license existing? It's almost like the government realized that any dumbass with one arm and one leg could power a 2-ton death machine, and they decided that it was in the best interest of public safety to regulate that.
That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, do you want to resolve the case, because it's not
I want to resolve the
40
case.
hours?
I disagree with the fine amount, because it changed. I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation.
Mr.
But
Resto,
that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? Can I?
No.
Because I did do time in jail. If the state would see that,
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it. But they can negotiate, and if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
Yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this case right now? I can do $1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Did you just say you have $1,000 right now to put towards a more than $2,000 fine? But you can't go out and get a driver's license that costs you about $150 every 5 years. Forget as a baby. Who's shaking you as an adult?
Shaking baby.
Mr. Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
What's on the table now?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on.
I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening, Mr.
Of course
Reston.
he's not listening. He has
Mr.
no
Reston,
brain cell.
Like, I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said,
okay,
you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table, and then if...
My sister did soup Nazi reference while you guys were hearing the deal. No travel, one yeah. She goes, kind of like, no soup, one yeah. I was like, no, we already hit commercials. We don't need to get Seinfeld involved.
If your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me because there's stuff I cannot do.
Because I'm
Okay, just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And
Okay,
if I pay it off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be great.
Apparently, your ability to listen is terminated long ago because she's told you multiple times that this is not the time or place for that, and she's not the one that you need to be talking to. Now, Judge Tammy sends him, his lawyer that he doesn't want, and the prosecutor to a breakout room to discuss his case further. And, well, Mr. Rusto decided, for whatever reason, that he needed to leave unexpectedly in the middle of negotiations.
Really?
Maybe what the attorneys say next will shed some light on why.
Okay.
I was discussing with Mr.
Resto?
and
Mr.
I
Luger?
understand something changed about his bond.
Okay.
Ooh.
He has bonds with 2 bondsmen. I don't know of anything. Does he have? Did somebody come off a bond?
Your Honor, maybe I can address that question.
Yes, please.
Mr. Rusto, our office filed a motion to revoke bond, and that motion was granted a roll nisi, and it was calendared. That motion didn't happen because of the pandemic. It was, I believe, scheduled to happen in 2021, maybe February, but somewhere about that time. I informed Mr. Kamani to inform his client that depending on the outcome of today's arraignment, the state intends to move forward on that
put it
bond
back on the
revocation.
deal? Yeah.
Your Honor, may I make a request on that matter?
Sure, Mr. Taylor.
I'd request that the defendant show in person for it not.
I want him in person, so that way when we arrest him, I don't have to go and send some cop to get him.
So he has a hard time showing up to Zoom court, and the prosecutor wants him to show up in person. And for good reason, because he didn't show up to the next court hearing either. Now, he did call in at the end of the docket, claiming that he conveniently had a doctor's appointment scheduled for the same day as court. You can believe him if you want to, but I ain't buying anything that comes out of that dick flute's mouth.
So it's my understanding that you and Mr. Castaneda have parted ways with respect to your case?
Yeah. Did he file a motion to withdraw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to go forward without an attorney representing yourself?
Yeah, it seems like the attorneys that the state appoints me, they have a very hard time of like listening to their clients, like what they have to say. Like I had a conversation with him for like maybe 5 minutes, and he was very like wanted to do what he wanted to do. He didn't want to hear what I had.
You mean to tell us
You mean he's kind of like a doctor trying to do what's right for you? Oh my God. It's kind of like you walk into the doctor. Doctor, I have a broken knee, but I want you to go ahead and give me, candy bars and take care of my finger.
No, my knee hurts. I think I broke it. Well, let's start with my wrist.
Yeah.
Why? Your wrist has nothing to do with it.
But you're not listening to me.
that a lawyer who studied law for years and practices it as a profession doesn't want to take the advice from a mental midget whose entire legal proficiency comes from mastering YouTube search? This is my shocked face.
But he was just telling me, like I was raising concerns about the state came off of my bond. And I was trying to figure out why they came off my bond when I showed up for court. I gave no
You don't show up for court.
Bond, and he said,
so when you say come off your bond, the bonding company has to do that, not the state. So I'm not sure.
Well, they filed a motion to come off my bond. That's what he stated.
Okay,
No.
Is that Free at Last or Atlanta Clayton bonding?
No, not Free at Last. It
so
was.
I have that you.
He stated that the state filed a motion with your court, stating that they wanted to come off my bond to where basically I would have warrant on me.
No, let me put this in English for you, since I guess you're not smart enough to recognize English. They want to revoke your bond. That means make it that you have no bond. So therefore you can't bail out, and your ass will rot in jail, probably where you deserve to be. Not come off of your bond.
Okay, Miss John V.A., do you have any outstanding bench warrants for Mr. Resto? I don't recall signing any, but I may have.
Did the state file any motions in regards to that?
No.
You know, the keen observer in me is noticing how Mr. Rusto is hyper-focused on his bond revocation, which, as the judge said, wasn't even on the table. It kind of cements my suspicion that his emergency doctor's appointment, which just so happened to fall on the same day that he had to show up in court, was more than a mere coincidence.
No.
Yeah, I didn't. So just Your Honor, I didn't know that he was back. I'd already given the file to my assistant. She said she had just sent off the bench warrant to you as well. I think so.
So I didn't think. All right. So yeah, Mr. Resto, you're here. So I haven't signed anything yet.
Okay.
But I will.
Does the state have any intentions on trying to come off my bond?
Again.
No. So, sir, they don't come off your bond unless you fail to appear. My understanding is you had a medical excuse for being late today, so you contacted
I'm
Ms. Val.
actually still at the hospital. I just had a minor surgery.
Okay, so Ms. Val has allowed you to come on to the call today because she knew that you had a medical issue. So we can deal with your case today, or we can give you a continuance until December 6th, but nobody's coming off the bond, and the bench warrant will not be signed.
Okay. I want to handle this today. It's kind of been lingering over my head for some years now. I'm really tired of it. And
we're tired of you know, going ahead and breaking the law.
10 days in jail, and that would like absolutely ruin my business, my life.
So
I have a two-year son. I'm a single father.
All those reasons that you just stated sound like really good motivators to get a valid driver's license to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, Judge, in my situation is okay. I got the documentation from the Alabama motor vehicle department. See,
Okay.
I'm actually an Alabama citizen, and I was traveling.
Hold on. Let me put you in a breakout room with me and the state so we can hear what you're saying, but we're not putting it all out there in case you want to make a different decision, okay?
And other, if you decide someday you actually want to have a brain cell.
I really believe
No,
that.
it's not that, sir. This is what I would if you had an attorney who was representing you, okay? So this is called a pre.
Yeah, but I just honestly believe that we're just being truthful. There's really no need for attorneys when you're just being honest about your situation.
Believe me when I say this, you can screw yourself over by being open and honest to the court by accidentally being open and honest to a violation. A lawyer would know this. Now, they rescheduled this court date, and to no one's surprise at all,
Let me guess, he didn't show up?
Next is Mr. Resto. Mr. Castaneda was fired by Mr. Resto, so he's no longer counsel of record. Mr. Resto is wanted, and there is no surety on that. Does the state have it? There's no surety order on that. Does the state have a request in the Resto case?
Mr. Resto, yes, they would definitely request the rule absolute on that matter.
Okay, on both cases, the rule absolute will be granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So it looks like that's the end of the Rusto saga for now. He's on the run, and he hasn't been back to court since his last appearance. But I'm always watching, and if I see him, you'll be the first to be updated. So if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a...
Don't leave a dislike. Only assholes leave a dislike. You leave a like. And with that, we'll bring this episode to a close. As always, please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to the goal of 50,000 views, 1,000 subscribers. So Boxy can go ahead and send those red presents that we can send out to you. And Google puts us on the algorithm. Join us tonight for more as we march along here from day one. Have a great afternoon.